Welcome back to Conestee Park for Game 2 of today's doubleheader between the Bruins and Screaming Eagles. My name is Trenton Goldsmith, back with you here after a marathon of Game 1. 3 hours and 15 minutes for a 7-inning game. Definitely the longest 7-inning game I've ever watched in my whole entire life. But we're back here hoping for a little bit of a shorter outcome, shorter game. The Screaming Eagles came away with a 17-11 win. It was very high scoring. Screaming Eagles were up 16-1 at one point, and then the Bruins made something. 10 runs, came all the way back, but we're up short by 6 runs. And Tillman Paget starting on the mound today for the Bruins in Game 2. He's had a couple incredible games in a row, one of which a complete game victory over Alice Lloyd last weekend. Charlie Compton leading off again for the Screaming Eagles. Hits one to Conley Burke, and Conley Burke, what a play at third base to start today. Compton, we still haven't seen the big contact that we know Compton has, so it's his last chance this weekend here in today's game. Brings up Connor Merritt, starting in left field today in Game 2.
Now batting for the Eagles, catcher number 12, Connor Merritt.
One thing I'm glad about is I'm glad baseball doesn't take as much of my voice as basketball does, or else I'd be whispering to you guys at home. When we hosted the regional tournaments for basketball, 4 games in one day about had everything on my voice. The next 3 days I was barely talking. He did swing on that. He went 0-2 count early. So I'm glad a long game like we just had didn't take my voice away, and we're back with you here today. And man, it's so much fun. Here's the 0-2. Up and in for ball 1. Wouldn't want to spend a Saturday any other way than being here at Conestee Park. The 1-2 from Paget. Strikes him out swinging, drop third. Kirkpatrick's going to have to make the throw. And he does. Two straight outs. Oh, man, I am getting a meeting up here at the booth. Dr. Weathers, welcome to Conestee Park.
It's great to be here.
Everyone at home, Dr. Weathers completed 4 Ironmans in 4 days in his Iron 40 challenge to raise money for Bob Jones University. He did that on Thursday, completed on Thursday. What a week it was for you. It was amazing.
It was a lot of fun.
I was able to run 2 marathons with him, so that's partially why I'm so exhausted today, but totally worth it. Quad's feeling a little bit, but you know what? No complaints here. The 0-1 from Paget, up in the air for ball 1. Glad to see he's out of the house today and enjoying a little bit of sunshine. His legs are probably feeling it. He has the massage gun with him. He's probably going to massage his legs out as he's sitting here at Conestee Park. Swung through that for strike 2. The son has his glove ready to go. And a 1-2 count here from Tillman Paget. Strike 3. Tillman Paget strikes out 2. Retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. We're headed to the bottom of the first inning. Welcome back to the bottom of the first inning of Game 2 here in a doubleheader. Cody Kirkpatrick leading off again for the Bruins.
Number 19, Cody Kirkpatrick.
Kirkpatrick is indeed starting this second game, so he has started both games catching. Only caught 4 innings last game because he was put to work behind home plate. Had to get down for a lot of balls in the dirt. But he's back in his natural position and leading off again. Starting with the Screaming Eagles is Kason Rhodes. We saw him last night in the field. Starting on the mound tonight. 2-0 count to start his outing. It's a ball low, so 3 straight balls. So I don't think Cody Kirkpatrick is going to get a green light here, especially to start the game. He does take for strike 1. So last night, the Bruins got out to a hot offensive start. This afternoon in Game 1, Toccoa Falls got off to a hot offensive start. So we'll see if it goes back to the Bruins side. That one's popped up straight in the air. Charlie Compton gets it in shallow center field for out number 1. Kirkpatrick has had a challenging weekend from the plate. He's going to have to make some adjustments over this upcoming week. Spring break is this upcoming week for Bob Jones University, so no games on the schedule. But then the week after that, the Bruins actually go on the road against Toccoa Falls. So 2 weekends from right now, same matchup, different location. Kyle Prouse now up. Thought about chasing an outside pitch, does not. It's a 2-0 count. That one barely missed. Great spot by Rhodes. And another 3-0 count. And Prouse takes a 4-pitch walk. Brings up Conley Burke. Has done a little bit of everything here this weekend. Hitting when he needs to, making plays on third base, and even, as we saw last night, pitching.
Third baseman, number 10, Conley Burke.
Big cut there. Back foot didn't stay down, so he missed it. It's an 0-1 count. Prouse thought about running, gets caught off, but he's back to first in time. Rovitas testing him from behind home plate. He acted like he was running and then got caught leaning for a quick second there. Here's the 1-1. Prouse will run. Up in the air. Prouse is going to have to return. Prouse is going to have to go back. And he kept running, so an easy double play to end the inning. So that's the fastest first inning ever. Basically went 3 up, 3 down on both sides. We head to the top of the second inning. Still 0-0. Back here in the top of the second inning, Paget continues to deal with a strike. Seeing Ryan McCarty. Ryan McCarron, we have a Ryan McCarty on staff at Bob Jones University, assistant coach for the men's soccer team. So when it's Ryan and Mick something, it's usually McCarty for me. But in this case, Ryan McCarron facing an 0-2 count now after fouling one off into the dugout. The 0-2 count up in the air for ball one. Here's the 1-2 from Paget. Outside. Paget actually has the best ERA on this Bruins team. 32 innings pitched, 6.75 ERA. Has struck out 22 batters. Again, great job last weekend. 3 straight balls here to McCarron, though, so now it's a full count. The 3-2 from Paget. Another one into the Bruins dugout. Here's the 3-2 again. Back into the net. The battle continues with McCarron. Here's the 3-2 again. And another one back towards the dugout. Long at bat here. Paget delivers again. And that one slapped in the left field. Zay Brandt getting back on it. He's going to throw it in, and McCarron's going to have a leadoff single here in the top of the second inning. Brings up Peyton Powell, who has earned his spot back up in the, oh, nope.
Now batting for the Eagles, left fielder number 34, Braden Alexander.
It's Braden Alexander. I have something wrong in my lineup. I think I was given the wrong lineup by Toccoa Falls. Because Braden Alexander's up to bat. That one's ripped. Conley Burke over to Gonzalez. Back to first base. A double play is turned. Great piece of defense by this Bruins infield. I think the lineup that they gave us was actually yesterday's lineup. Because now that I'm realizing, Kason Rhodes pitched last night. Davis Jennings is up right now. We're going to get this figured out in this half inning. Now 1-2 count. Yeah, the lineup I'm looking at is last night's lineup for Toccoa Falls. Here's the 1-2 from Paget. Dribbler, back to Paget. Paget flips over and gets out of the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the second inning. Still 0-0. Back here in the bottom of the second inning. Evan Johnson leading off. That one's out of the zone. So figuring things out, Joshua Ramey is pitching for Toccoa Falls this game. I do apologize. The lineup I got was last night's. Somehow I got it mixed up. But now we're back. And we finally know what's going on again. Evan Johnson facing a 2-1 count against Ramey. Fouled into the net. Well, it's either Ramey or Ramey. The spelling for the coach that has the real lineup says Ramey, so I'm going with Ramey. Ripped right back at him. Johnson racing down first base. He's not going to get there. Now up, Bryson French. Coach checking on his pitcher. Hearing pitchers say Ramey, so I'm just going to go with Ramey. Bryson French, DH, now batting. He did. Strike one. Blooper. Oh! McCarron almost got to it. French takes that for ball one. 1-2 count against Ramey. French stays alive, hitting it out of play. The 1-2 again. Another foul ball. Bruins dugout giving Doug Goldstrom a hard time over there on first base. So last game we saw Daniel Abbo make a play at third base as a third base coach. And may I say, that one was a lot harder grounder than what Goldstrom just had at first base, and he fumbled it. And he's hearing it. He's hearing it from the dugout. Still a 1-2 count. Oh, man, Bryson French takes it for ball two. That was a pretty pitch. It was hard to stay off of, but French does. It's a 2-2 count. Now down and out. And good, patient at bat for Bryson French. Full count now. Oh, man, struck him out. So after a long at bat, French strikes out for out number 2. Matt Carroll is now up, starting center field in this game. Was the starting pitcher in game 1, and just simply ball got away from him very early. And that's how the Toccoa Falls got off to a hot scoring start. Now's a chance here. Batting in the 6th spot. Great pitch, but call the ball too low. Here's the 1-1. That one gets in there for a strike. 1-2 count. The 1-2. Ripped up the middle by Matt Carroll. So a 2-out single. And now Angelo Gomez steps up with 2 outs. Most of the runs the Bruins scored in game 1 to try to ignite a comeback were with 2 outs. So they do have the ability to score under pressure. There goes Carroll. Carroll gets the second in time. Good stolen base there. Puts him in scoring position for Angelo Gomez. Ramey taking quite some time. Finally gets in his stretch. Ball outside. Two-0 count. That one's through the infield. Will they send them home? They're going to hold Carroll at third. So now runners on the corners. 2 down after the Gomez single. Now it's Sam Gonzalez here. Up in a big moment early in this game. Could give the Bruins an early lead.
Now batting for the Bruins, second baseman, number 3, Sam Gonzalez.
Runners on the corners. Gomez off of first base. Matt Carroll off of third. That one doesn't quite get far enough inside. It's ball 1. Zay Brandt's on deck. That's a soft grounder. Miller will come and get it. Miller's throw is off target. That's going to score a run. Gomez over to third. So the Bruins score first. It's a 1-0 game here in the bottom of the second inning. More 2-out runs for the Bruins here today. Brings up Zay Brandt. I was talking to him between games, and he is exhausted. He was begging Coach Morrison to bat DH today in this second game, especially after everything he did in game 1. Coming in to pitch a couple innings, did very well too. Nope, he's back in left field, back in the hitting 9 spot. Now Gomez on third base. Gonzalez on first base. Brandt hits it back into the net. One count. The wind's starting to pick up a lot. Now a 2-1 count. Brandt takes ball 3, and they're going to have a meeting on the mound. Checking back, Gonzalez on first base. Count is still 3-1. Brandt looking for his pitch. That one found the outside corner of the zone. Full count. 2 outs. Gonzalez will have a head start. That one's up and out for ball 4. So the walk of Zay Brandt loads the bases for Cody Kirkpatrick. Again, still 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Bruins have scored a run, looking for more.
Bruins catcher number 19, Cody Kirkpatrick.
The wind is blowing in, so this ball will have to be absolutely slaughtered to leave the yard. That one's outside. Merritt goes out and grabs it. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Great pitch by Ramey for strike 1. That one is over. The glove of Miller. 2 runs are going to score for the Bruins. It's 3-0. A 2 RBI single for Cody Kirkpatrick. Gabe Gerhardt coming in the run for Kirkpatrick. And the Bruins with an early lead. They're going to have another conference on the mound before Prowse steps to the plate.
17, Kyle Rouse.
Kyle Prouse looking to keep it going for this Bruins offense here in the bottom of the second inning. They've scored 3 two-out runs. Zay Brandt's on second base, Gabe Gerhardt's on first. Pitch is up and out for ball 1. Prouse was walked in his first at-bat. Hit out of play for strike 1. Prouse was all over that pitch, just dropped that back shoulder a little bit too much. Here's the 1-1. Another foul out of play. The 1-2 count. Ramey 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. And another foul ball by Prouse. The 1-2 again. Outside, they're going to get Gerhardt way off the bag. So the Bruins score 3 there in the bottom of the second inning, take a 3-0 lead. Tillman Pageant and the Bruins defense looking to hold them, headed to the top of the third. Will Miller leading off the top of the third inning for Toccoa Falls. Pageant still on the mound, and he's still feeling great. He's faced 6 batters in 2 innings. It is the minimum you can face. Will Miller, the starting shortstop, is the one that helped the Bruins score a couple of runs. Could have ended the inning without giving up any runs if the throw to first base was on target, but it was not. So the Bruins end up scoring 3 runs there in the bottom of the second inning, all with 2 outs. That one's hit, fielded by Gonzalez, thrown over to first base for out number 1. Brings up Nick Eckert, starting at third base today. He's been the courtesy runner for the majority of the weekend.
Now batting for the Eagles, second baseman number 4, Nick Eckert.
That one, I think he fouled it off his foot and it fell over. Someone in the Bruins dugout said, "Owie." I could not agree more. Did not look pleasant. Now facing an 0-2 count. Paget with an 0-2 count. Got him swinging. 2 down now in the top of the 3rd inning. Getting through this lineup very well. Paget now facing Peyton Powell.
Fielder number 25, Peyton Powell.
That one's tipped into the glove for strike 1. Up in the air for ball 1. 1-1 count. Top of the order and Charlie Compton on deck. Off-speed pitch, beautiful by Paget for strike 2. Now a 1-2 count. 1 strike away from getting out of the 3rd. Up and out for ball 2. Two count, 2 outs. Got him on the outside corner. 3 up, 3 down again. Tillman Paget is dealing. Bruins look to add on some more runs. We're headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning. So Prouse is back up, leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning. He's going to square a bunt, but tips it out. He's back up because Gabe Gerhardt got stuck on the bases as the final out of the inning. So Prouse gets new life. He was facing 2 strikes, but whole new at-bat for Kyle Prouse. Was walked in his first at-bat. That one not quite in the strike zone. The 1-1 count. That one finds the outside corner. It's a 1-2 count. Oh, that one does hit the feet of Kyle Prowse, so he was one strike away, had the battle away from striking out, but it hits Prowse's feet. So now Conley Burke up, none down here in the bottom of the third inning.
Now batting for the Bruins, third baseman number 10, Conley Burke.
Burke will square a bunt. It's 0-1 count. That thing went straight up in the air. I was tracking it to try to catch it up here at the table. The 0-1, they're going to check him back. That was a great move, and they got him. Ramey quick to first base. That's now 2 runners caught at first base by the Toccoa Falls defense. Now Burke with no one else on and 1 down. Burke swings through that one. Now facing a 1-2 count. One-two count. Burke a blooper to right field. Jennings will go back and get it. 2 down now here in the bottom of the third.
Now batting for the Bruins, first baseman number 42, Evan Johnson.
Brings up Evan Johnson, who has had an incredible weekend so far here. Hit into a ground out in his first at bat. But has 6 hits on the weekend. Tips that one into the glove for strike 2. Ramey looking for a fast inning here. The 0-2 in the dirt. Ramey steps off. Miscommunication between him and Merritt. 1-2 count. Tipped off the helmet of Merritt. Didn't seem to shake him at all. Now a 1-2. Up and out for ball 2. 2-2. Straight up in the air. It'll stay in the infield. Eckert. Oh, man, nearly misses it, but grabs it anyway. Wow. 3 up, 3 down for Ramey. It's exactly how he wanted it to go. The score stays 3-0. We're headed to the top of the 4th. Charlie Compton leading off the top of the 4th inning for Toccoa Falls. In essence, Padgett's gone 3 up, 3 down in all 3 innings. In the middle inning, a double play was turned. So now here in the top of the 4th inning, Compton with a second at bat and grounded out in his first one. Fouled back into the net, 0-2 count. The 0-2. That one is hit. Oh, almost a diving stop by Gonzalez, and Compton's going to reach. Connor Merritt.
For the Eagles, number 12, Connor Merritt.
Starting at catcher today. He's going to square the bunt, try to move Compton over, but pulls that one back in time. In talking to Toccoa Falls coach between games, I don't think Merritt usually catches. Had to make a quick adjustment. Padgett trying to check back Compton in case he's leaning. That one is hit deep to left field. Zay Brandt running and gets it in the corner. Zay Brandt had to go a long way. Solid contact by Merritt. And Brandt catches it for out number 1. Brings up Cole Smith, who struck out in his first at bat. Checking back Compton again. There goes Compton. Toccoa Falls tries to hit and run, but it's a foul ball. Two-one count. In the dirt, kept in front by Kirkpatrick, 3-1. Compton has stayed put ever since. The 3-1. Ripped. Gonzalez flips over to second base, gets Compton at second, and they barely missed Cole Smith. Gonzalez bobbled it on second base, was able to get to Gomez in time to get Compton the lead runner, and they almost got Smith at first base, but nothing hurt. 2 outs now. McCarron, the only Toccoa Falls Screaming Eagle to get a hit in the first time around. Got a single in his first at bat, and that was part of that double play in the second inning. The 0-1 in the dirt, blocked by Kirkpatrick. The 0-1. That was a 1-1 count. My apologies. Now it's a 2-1 count. Two 2-1 to McCarran. Up and out for ball 3. The 3-1 in the dirt. And a walk for McCarran. Runners are now on first and second. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Cody Kirkpatrick going to go have a conversation with Tillman Padgett. Now facing Braden Alexander, who hit into the double play in his last at bat.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 34, Braden Alexander.
Hard grounder, diving stop. And Burke is just going to have to tag him for out number 3. Incredible play by Conley Burke to get out of the inning. Score is still 3-0. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. Bryson French leading off the bottom of the 4th inning. So now Daniel Abbo's made a play at third base, and now Coach Morrison made that play at third base. So Assistant Coach Doug Goldstrom still without a play in the field today as a coach. So now a 1-1 count after that ball in the dirt. Pretty sure all coaches on this team are all former college players, most of them at Bob Jones. Swung through, big cut by French. Coach Kyle Morrison played his days at Brevard College. Doug Goldstrom, Daniel Abbo, and Chad Bain all played at Bob Jones. Have come back since. What a great spot for a pitch by Ramey, but called a ball just below the outside corner. It's a 2-2 count to Bryson French. Right up the middle, French gets a leadoff single. Now Matt Carroll, he hit a single in his first at bat.
Now batting for the Bruins, number 5, Matt Carroll.
Oh, French is stealing. Will he get there in time and avoid the tag? He does! Slid around the tag. It was supposed to be a sac bunt by Carroll. Carroll couldn't get it down, but French kept running. Now it's an 0-1 count. Runner on second. Carroll couldn't get that bunt down either. Now facing an 0-2 count. Ball outside, 1-2. Again, Carroll has the highest batting average with runners in scoring position on this Bruins team. I was trying to do the math on it earlier this morning, but I couldn't quite find all the numbers I needed to give you an actual stat on that. But after watching every game the Bruins have played so far, I can definitely tell you Carroll shows up with bases or with runners in scoring position. 2-2 count. And Carroll goes down swinging. Great strikeout by Ramey for out number 1. Now Angelo Gomez, he singled in his first at bat. With 1 out still, wouldn't be surprised if Gomez squares for a bunt to try to move French over to third. Does not look like he's going to. Takes ball 1. One-0 count. McCarron check swings, went through, so it's a 1-1. McCarron playing in at first base. Playing for a bunt again. They're going to check French back to second. One of the first pickoff moves to second I think we've seen all weekend from either team. And we've seen some pretty far leadoffs of second. It's hard to say. That one way outside. Two-one count. Angelo Gomez takes strike 2 to 2-2 count. Tips that one right back into the net. Continues to battle against Ramey. The 2-2 again. Gets Angelo Gomez swinging. So 2 straight strikeouts with a runner in scoring position, now 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning for Sam Gonzalez. Time is called. Ramey looks a little uncomfortable. He's stretching something out on the mound right now. It looks like he's going to be okay, so we're going to resume play here.
Number 3, Sam Gonzalez.
They're keeping French close to second. Miller is there keeping him as close as possible. Gonzalez facing a 1-0 count. Big cut for Gonzalez. Coach Morrison says stay back and drive something the other way instead of trying to crush one while turning on it. No, 1-1 count. Low out of the zone for ball 2. Hit out of play, so Gonzalez is going to stay alive. Count is now 2-2, 2 down. And 3 straight strikeouts for Ramey. Gets the Bruins through. And the score is still 3-0. They strand Bryson French on second base for quite some time. We're headed to the top of the 5th inning. It's still 3-0. Davis Jennings leading off the top of the 5th inning.
Number 6, Davis Jennings.
Oh, there you go. There's Zay Brandt. I was about to ask where he is. I wasn't sure if he was still in the dugout or not, but he appears out of the bullpen of Toccoa Falls out there. I'm not entirely sure where he was going, but hey, back on the field and back ready to start the top of the fifth. That one right back at Padgett. He can't get his glove down. It's a leadoff single for Davis Jennings. Now Will Miller.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 1, Will Miller.
Gonna squirt a bunt. Gonna try to move Jennings over. Pull back on that as well. It's now a 2-0 count. Jennings staying disciplined on first base. Making sure Miller actually lays one down. He's pulled back on all 3 pitches for 3 balls. And Miller's going to take strike 1. So now it's 3-1 again. I wonder if Miller's going to square the bunt again. He's not. And he's going to take ball 4, so no need for a sacrifice bunt. 2 leadoff runners for Toccoa Falls. And Coach Rulapal is going to come out and they're going to have a conference. Nick Eckert now up. He's going to try to square the bunt to move 2 runners over. Tips that one foul. Still none down here in the top of the 5th inning. Toccoa Falls down 3-0. This could be the inning where they bring everything back. Good pickoff move. He got him at second base. Incredible move by Tillman Padgett. That's probably what they drew up in the conference. Incredible. There's 1 down. Eckert swings through that. It's now an 0-2 count. The 0-2. Ball outside. One, two from Tillman Paget. Grounder. Gomez gets it to second base. He got the out at second base. Another good play by the Bruins infield. Now Peyton Powell steps up. Struck out in his first at-bat. So last night he struck out 4 times. First game of today, he got on base all 5 at-bats. Struck out on his first at-bat in this game, and now swings through strike 1. Toccoa Falls had a very brief moment of momentum here, but it's since quieted down, especially after that pickoff move at second base. That one's going to get through the infield, and Powell gets a single. So now runners on first and second again for Charlie Compton. They're going to intentionally walk Charlie Compton to load the bases. So there's 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. The bases are loaded for Connor Merritt. Connor Merritt's 0 for 2 today. Let's see if this strategy works out to walk Compton. First pitch to Merritt. Ball up. The 1-0 count. Outside for ball 2. The 2-0 count. Bases loaded. Here's Paget. And now 3-0 count. So after walking Compton, intentionally walking Compton, might be walking Merritt here. The wind is starting to blow again. Paget steps off. The 3-0. And he's going to walk in a run. So that strategy to walk Compton hasn't worked out yet. So Aiden Dumas is going to enter to run as a courtesy runner for Connor Merritt. So he's now on first base. Cole Smith up. Here's the first pitch to him. In the dirt, blocked by Kirkpatrick. Paget has to find his rhythm again. That's 4 straight balls, or 5 straight balls. Smith tried to squirt a bunt to mess up the rhythm of Paget. Paget finally throws a strike anyway. 1-1 count. Up and out for ball 2. Gabe Swarms is warming up in the Bruins bullpen. The 2-1. Off-speed pitch gets in there for strike 2. Paget in a jam. Bases are loaded, 2 outs is a 1-2 count. He's already walked in a run, it's 3-1. 1 hit could tie it or take the lead. That one's ripped into center field. That one's gonna tie the game. That one's in the gap. And now runners on the corners, 2 RBI single for Cole Smith. It's a 3-3 game. Runners now in the corners. New count to Ryan McCarron. He's reached in both at-bats so far in this game with a single and a walk. Big cut by Ryan McCarron for strike 1. Pitch gets away from Paget. In the dirt for ball 2. It's a 2-1 count. Fouled off, 2-2 count again. Paget needs to get out of this inning without giving up any more runs. Toccoa Falls has come back to tie it at 3. Paget checks him back at first base. Here's the 2-2 count. In there for strike 3, he got him looking. Toccoa Falls comes back and ties it at 3. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th inning. Hunter Tatum now on the mound for Toccoa Falls. Ramey's day is over after 4 innings, giving up 3 runs. Toccoa Falls was able to tie it back at 3-3.
Leading off for the Bruins, number 2, Zay Brent.
So now in the bottom of the 5th inning, Bruins looking to answer back and take the lead back. Zay Brandt leading off. Swings through that for strike 1. That one's a grounder. Miller has to make the throw. Good scoop over there by McCarron for out number 1. So now Kirkpatrick is up. 1 for 2. Singled in his last at bat where 2 runs came in. Ball misses the outside corner. It's 1-0 count. Tatum, the lefty, delivers. In there for strike 1. On the season, Tatum, 15 2/3 innings, 6.31 ERA. Giving up 11 earned runs, struck out 17, only walked 5. Walked 10. 2-1. Hit up in the air. That one's going to stay in the yard. McCarron trying to find it. That one's going to land. Wow, McCarron looked up, couldn't find it. And Jennings wasn't there in time, so Kirkpatrick gets on. So Gabe Gerhardt coming in to run for him. So now Kyle Prouse is up.
Number 17, Kyle Prouse.
He's been walked and hit by a pitch today in this game. Oh, they're going to get Gabe Gerhardt leaning again. Great move. So now 2 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. Foul tipped by Prouse. It's a 1-1 count now. All of a sudden 2 outs, so just 1 out remaining here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Up and out for ball 2. Three-one count to Prouse. Looking for another walk, but the hitters count here. And that one's barely outside for ball 4. Prouse still technically without an at-bat today in game 2. 2 walks and hit by a pitch for Conley Burke now with 2 outs. Burke has flown out twice.
Number 10, Conley Burke.
Ripped up the middle. 2-out single. That's going to advance Prouse to second. Bruins continue to show up with 2 outs. Evan Johnson looking to go next.
Now batting for the Bruins, number 42, Evan Johnson.
Johnson still without a hit here in game 2 today. Be a great time to get one. Blocked by Merritt behind the plate. Here's the 1-0. Ball out and down for ball 2. Bruins are looking for 2 straight series wins on the season. Tied right now. Here's the 2-0 pitch in there for a strike. They won the series at Alice Lloyd last weekend. Lost on Tuesday to Montreat. And looking for a series win. They've split so far against Toccoa Falls. The 2-1 count. Outside for ball 3. Evan Johnson with a hitter's count now. Looking to drive one here to score Prowse from second. (3-1). Shallow left. Alexander has to come get it, and he will. Toccoa Falls escapes a mini threat by the Bruins, and it's still 3-3. We're headed to the top of the 6th inning. Braden Alexander looks at strike 1. Start the top of the 6th inning. Tillman Padgett still on the mound. There is action in the Bruins bullpen. Last I saw, Gabe Swarms was the one warming up. I think they're trying to get Padgett through this 6th inning. Ran into a little trouble in the 5th where he allowed 3 runs. Hit out of play for strike 2. The 0-2 count from Padgett. It's a grounder. Fielded by Gomez over to first base for out number 1. That brings up Davis Jennings, 1 for 2 on the day, with a single and ground out.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 6, Davis Jennings.
Take strike 1. I think if Padgett gets quickly through this 6th inning, he might come out for 7. But he's going to need to have better pitches than that one in the dirt. It's a 1-1 count. Up and out for ball 2. Missed inside. Now it's a 3-1 count. Grounded to Gomez again. He comes and gets it. His throw over to first base. On target, on time for out number 2. Now it's Will Miller trying to keep the inning alive for Toccoa Falls. Miller 0 for 1 with a walk. Even the umpire got out of the way of that one. That was a missed target by Paget. Kirkpatrick couldn't even get back in front of that in time. It's a 1-0 count to Miller. Hit in the right center field, and Carroll can't get it. It's over his head. That one's all the way to the fence. Miller's going to take 3. And he's going to slide in safely for a 2-out triple. Miller's going to have a runner come in for him. Pretty sure it was Braden Hassan, but I could be wrong. I think it's number 8. So Hassan's going to pinch run for Will Miller, but on the defensive side, Will Miller will stay in. He's going to re-enter and play shortstop. So now here with 2 outs, Nick Ecker has a chance here to give Toccoa Falls the lead. He's going to squirt a bunt. That's in there for a strike. The 0-1 count, swung through by Eckert. (0-2) count for Tillman Paget. Strikes him out looking. Huge strikeout for Tillman Paget. We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's still tied at 3. Hunter Tatum back on the mound for Toccoa Falls. Bryson French leading off for the Bruins. Toccoa Falls had a golden opportunity to take the lead in the 6th inning, but Paget strikes out Eckert to get out of the inning. French takes strike one. It's a 1-1 count. Bruins just need base runners and need 1 run to take the lead headed to the 7th inning. A 2-1 count. French, big cut, swings through it. The 2-2 from Tatum. In the dirt for ball 3. Again, this would be huge for French and the Bruins if he gets on base here. The full count. Inside, Bryson French, a leadoff base runner. So big decision here by Coach Morrison. He's going to send Mannix Crawford in to go up to bat for Mac Carroll. And I wouldn't be surprised here if he's putting in Crawford for a sac bunt. Carroll did struggle earlier to lay down a bunt to move a runner over. And Crawford is sneakily good at bunting. French has to be really careful. They've gotten picked off of first base 3 times in this game. So if Crawford is really going to bunt, French has to make sure he gets it down. Big moment here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He's going to pick over. Read that as easy as you can read a Dr. Seuss book. He's going to pick back over. Reads it again. Crawford lays down a bunt. And it was called a foul ball. I think it must have hit off of Merritt while it was in foul territory, because it did dribble into fair territory. It's no 1 count. A 1 count. Crawford's probably going to try again. We might see a pickoff move to first. Nope. Crawford's going to square. He's going to bring it back. And French gets back to first in time. One count. Crawford pulls it back again, being very careful up there. Everybody knows he's squaring the bunt. And French staying on his toes at first base, waiting to run until he sees it laid down. Crawford lays it down. French will not get to second. Great play by Tatum. So now same situation, but now 1 down. With there being one out, Gomez could be trying to do the same thing. He's going to check Crawford back.
Now batting for the Bruins, number 23, Angelo Gomez.
Gomez swings. It's a pop-up to shallow right field. And Jennings gets it for out number 2. So now it's Sam Gonzalez.
Now batting for the Bruins, number 3, Sam Gonzalez.
Crawford still leading off first base. Gonzalez takes that pitch for ball 1. Now when it comes to the defensive side of things, now that Crawford is subbed in, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford gets moved over to second base and Gonzalez goes out to center field to replace Matt Carroll, who was playing center field on the defensive side. That one's fouled out of play. 1-1 count. In there for strike 2, Tatum. 1 strike away. It's a 1-2 count. Good eye by Sam Gonzalez to stay alive. 2-2. In the dirt. Full count now. Big full count here. Tatum delivers. Swung through for strike 3. After a leadoff runner, Tatum retires the side. We're headed to the 7th inning, all knotted up at 3. Who's going to get the best? We shall see. Tillman Paget comes out in the mound to start inning number 7.
Leading off for the Eagles, number 25, Peyton Powell.
Swarms continues to warm up in the pen. Hasn't been called on yet. Peyton Powell leading off this inning. He's going to look at ball 1 low. The 1-0 count from Tillman Paget. Big cut and a miss. The 1-1 count. Hit down the first base line, but foul. It's a sharp hit. The count goes to 1-2. If the Bruins come out with a win, it's going to have to be on a walk-off. They do have a walk-off win this season. It was in the very beginning of the year. Kyle Prouse was the one that hit it, and it was for their first win of the season and first coaching career win for Kyle Morrison. Here's the 1-2 in the dirt. The 2-2 count from Paget. Up and out. Here's the full count. In the dirt. Leadoff walk for Peyton Powell. Compton was intentionally walked in his last at-bat, which probably sparked the offense for Toccoa Falls. Now up in another big spot here. In the top of the 7th inning, all tied at 3. Powell leading off of first base. Compton squares the bunt, pulls it back, but it's strike one anyway. Here's the 0-1. That one's ripped to right field. It's going to be a single. So now 2 runners out, none down in the top of the 7th inning. The infield's going to come together and talk things over. Connor Merritt's going to step to the plate with a chance here to take the lead for Toccoa Falls. Bruins just need their first out. That bunt's laid down, but it goes foul. It's an 0-1 count. Bruins try the same move, but it's read like a book by Powell. Oh, man. Merritt pulled back the bunt and tried to rip one, but now facing an 0-2 count. This would be big for Paget. He's going to square that bunt down. Throw to third. He got him in time. What a throw by Cody Kirkpatrick. What a risky throw to try to get him at third. And he got him in time. Huge out for the Bruins. Way to get the lead runner. Wow. So same situation again. Runners on first and second, but this time with one down. The 0-1 count. Grounder. Stopped by Gonzalez. Can he make the throw? He can't. Smartly, though, throws home just in case the run was coming in. Bases are loaded now. Oh, man. Cole Smith is hurt. After running through that bag, he went down immediately. Writhing in pain over there on the first baseline. Smith's still on the ground. He's getting helped up. And Pageant's day is finally over. What a quality outing. He's gotten away from him a little bit in the past few innings, but he stayed cool, calm, and collected. This game is still tied a lot due to him. Conley Burke's going to come in to pitch like he did last night. He did incredible last night in his first appearance on the season. That's going to move Evan Johnson to third base and Bryson French coming in to play first base. So Burke's going to be put in a really tough situation. Bases are loaded. There's only one out. He's going to face Ryan McCarron. The game is still tied at 3. We'll be back after he's done warming up. Back from the change. Conley Burke in on the mound, facing Ryan McCarron. McCarron tips that one into the glove for strike one. Oh, 1 count. Bases loaded, one down. Big cut again by McCarron for strike two. The 0-2 from Burke. Up for ball one. One-two count now. Bruins need an out. The 1-2. Inside, 2-2 count. Two-two count now from Conley Burke. Off speed gets away from him. And it's all of a sudden the full count. Burke has to avoid walking in a run. Three-two. That one's hit really high in the air to right center field. Carroll trying to find it. That's going over Carroll's head. It gets down. That's going to score at least one. McCarron stops at second. It's a 5-3 game. 2 RBI double by Ryan McCarron. Still only one out here in the top of the 7th inning. Pierce Molinax coming in to run from Ryan McCarron. And it appears that Aiden Dumas is going to bat in place of Braden Alexander. Now Aiden Dumas in. 2 runners in scoring position can grow Toccoa Falls' lead. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1 count. Bruins still looking for their second out of the inning. That one's up out of the zone. Now it's a 1-1 count. Dumas squared the bunt. Now it's a 2-1 count. The 2-1. In there for strike 2. Burke needs this strikeout. The 2-2. He did go. Runner's going to have to go. And Kirkpatrick's throw to first is off target. And a run's going to come in to score. Another one's coming in to score. And it's a 7-3 game. Kirkpatrick is pointing like Dumas got in the way. Morrison's talking to the umpire about runner interference right now, saying he was inside the baseline. So now after all that, Morrison's going to call time. It looks like Johnson's going to take the mound for Conley Burke. So it was once tied at 3, now a 7-3 lead for Toccoa Falls. And Johnson's going to warm up on the mound. So Toccoa Falls has scored 4 runs here in the top of the 7th inning to take a 7-3 lead. And a chance here to grow it even further with Evan Johnson on the mound. Johnson pitch way up and out. Jennings, 1 for 3 in this game. And now a 3-1 count. Still only 1 out here in the 7th inning. There goes the runner. He's going to get there in time. So pitch gets away from Kirkpatrick. 3-2 now to Davis Jennings. And he's going to draw a walk.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 1, Will Miller.
Miller up. Runners on the corners. He's going to squirt a bunt. And Davis Jennings takes second base. So runners now on second and third. Hit down the first baseline, but foul. The 1-1 count. Up for ball 2. Hitting the left field, drifting foul. The 2-2 from Johnson. Hitting the left field. Brandt's going to catch it. Runners are going to tag. At least one runner will tag, and that's the scoring run. So Dumas comes in and scores on a sac fly. It makes it 8-3.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 4, Nick Eckert.
Nick Eckert struck out in his last at bat. In there for strike 1. Oh, 1 count, 2 down. Strike 2. Johnson now with an 0-2 count. The 0-2 from Johnson. Struck him out swinging. And Kirkpatrick makes that throw. So the Bruins finally get out of the top of the 7th inning. Toccoa falls, takes off for 5 runs. Has a commanding 8-3 lead headed to the bottom of the 7th. Bruins have 3 outs to work with here. Zay Brandt leading off for them. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, got a lot of work to do. Down 5 now. Now it's hitting the foul territory. Gave up 5 runs in the top of the 7th inning to give Toccoa Falls a big lead. Luke Pruitt's on the mound to close things out for Toccoa Falls. Good start by Zay Brandt, single right up the middle. Now it's Cody Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick 2 for 3 in this game with 2 singles. Ball inside. It's a 1-0 count. The 1-0 count. 2-0 count now. And they're going to call time and go talk things over with Pruitt. Two-0 count to Cody Kirkpatrick. Off-speed pitch. Comes in too high. It's a 3-0 count. Kirkpatrick takes strike 1. Now a 3-1 count. That one's hit deep to left field. Does it have enough? It does. Cody Kirkpatrick, a 2-run home run. It's an 8-5 ball game. Coming up big time.
Home run by Cody Kirkpatrick.
Huge. Bruins back within 3. Still none down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Provides a big spark of energy. Can the Bruins keep it up? Caden Kennedy now up to bat for the Bruins. He's batting in place of Kyle Prowse.
Now batting for the Bruins, number 14, Caden Kennedy.
Bruins have new life. Only down 3 now. With none down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tipped in his glove for strike 1. The 0-1 count. In the dirt for ball one. The 1-1 count to Kennedy. Outside for ball two. Bruins could use another base runner. Conley Burke is up next. The 2-1. Up and in for ball three. Kennedy remaining patient at the plate. Hitters count here, 3-1 count. Kennedy looking to get on base. Pruitt delivers. Up out of the zone for ball four. Kennedy takes a walk. That brings up Conley Burke.
Now batting for the Bruins, number 10, Conley Burke.
Burke is looking to keep the Bruins offense in this thing. Still none down. Off-speed pitch. Beautiful pitch by Pruitt for strike one. Now an 0-1 count. In the dirt for ball one. One count. That's a rip into the gap. Will it get down? It will. Caden Kennedy taking third. Conley Burke now at second base. And the tying run is coming up to the plate with none down. Bruins have all the energy right now. So it appears that Merritt is going to be taken out from playing catcher and will potentially be coming in as a pitcher. We're going to have a conference at the mound. That appears what's going to happen. Yep, so Merritt's going to switch sides of the battery and go take the mound. Someone's going to have to tell us who's catching now for Toccoa Falls because his number is covered up by his pads. Bruins have slight momentum. Maybe the pitching change gets the momentum back on the Toccoa Falls side. I guess we'll find out. We'll be back after the change. Back from the pitching change. Merritt has taken the mound, and Ravitas is back at his catching position that he's played all weekend long. Evan Johnson steps up to the plate. Runners on second and third with none down. Bruins are down 3 after the 2-run home run by Cody Kirkpatrick. Bruins currently have all the energy and momentum. Merritt looking to slow him down. Big cut, but a foul tip by Johnson. Kennedy leading off of third base. Conley Burke leading off of second base. Merritt delivers. Hit out of play by Johnson for strike 2. Johnson now facing a 2-strike count. The 0-2 from Merritt. That's a grounder. That one's going to get past. Kennedy's running home, and Kennedy's going to score. So now runners on first and second. Bruins down 2. The tying run is on base. Still no outs. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Bryson French steps up to the plate. Bruins offense is moving. Eight to 6. French might try to lay down a bunt with no outs. He will. He's going to square up, lay it down. He gets there in time, and the bases are loaded. Still none down. It's getting crazy. And now Matt Carroll can tie it with a base hit.
Now batting for the Bruins, number 5, Matt Carroll.
Bases loaded. No outs. Bruins only down 2 now. Bruins dugouts ready to explode. Merritt steps off and then goes back on. Here's the first pitch to Carroll. Carroll thought about it. Outside for ball 1. Coach Morrison's going to call a timeout to talk things over with Carroll. I think he's just going to try to tell him here that all Carroll needs to do is just get bat on ball. Huge moment here. Not for 1 second did the Bruins feel like they were out of this game. The 1-0 pitch. Outside for ball 2. Two-0 count now. That one's hit high in the air to left field. That's still going back. Is that going to have enough? It's over the wall! A walk-off grand slam by Matt Carroll. Everybody is going, they're going bananas. They're losing their minds. It's a walk-off grand slam. Matt Carroll, are you kidding me? Oh my goodness.
Bruins home run by Matt Carroll.
A walk-off victory, a comeback victory that's gonna spark this Bruins season the rest of the time. No better opponent to happen against except South Region rival Toccoa Falls. Everybody is fired up. What a way to end the day. Game 1, we have a marathon that ended 17-11. Game 2, Bruins get down 5 runs in the top of the 7th inning. Come back and score 7 of their own to walk it off on a grand slam. What a day of baseball here at Conestee Park. And the Bruins are going to come away with a series win against South Region rival Toccoa Falls College. My goodness.
Toccoa Falls 8, Bob Jones University 10.
I'm going to have to calm down before I close this one out. Thank you so much for joining us here all weekend long at Conestee Park. My name is Trenton Goldsmith, signing off for now. I'll be back in just a couple of weeks. Everybody, have an incredible weekend. What a weekend for the Bruins.